dogs. I got the one in like October, and they've been fine up until about like a month and a half ago. And then they started getting aggressive towards each other. And like some of the times I can see like where it comes from, like food. But I'll be sitting there and they'll just be looking at each other, and I see the one, and he'll just turn and leap onto the other, and I can't figure out where it's coming from. How do you deal with aggression usually?
There's probably some type of behavior happening there that's escalated to this point. It may be just really subtle signs that you do not see. And it could be, we just had a consultation about this the other day, and it's something very similar. So both of the dogs are the same age?
They're about 2 years apart. We don't know how old the
But
one
you've had them
is.
for a year?
The one I got in October, the other one I've had since he was a puppy.
Okay.
The one's about to be 6, the other one we have no clue how old he is.
I would train them both. I would train, if I were you, I would train them both a rock solid recall. Bam! So in case a fight happens, puppy, I'm trying to think of a name, come. You can get that one to come, so you can get control over the animal immediately. Because a lot of times your environment gets out of control. And this is a way to, your environment may be getting out of control, but I need control over you right now. I would train them both a rock solid recall. Then I would train them both a station where they're separating distance. And I would start target training both of them because there's behavior, I guarantee you, that's happening that you may not be able to see. That's right there. And one of them is just the freezing. The other one could be like looking like that and then looking away. Another one could be when the other dog goes off site, like you start seeing the whites of the eyes. Those are something to pay attention to. Panting, nervous licking.
Yeah, the one's, he's a very anxious dog. He's the one I've had since he was a puppy. Him I can read all the time. It's the newer one where he'll be like wagging his tail and then like all of a sudden just like leaps and like.
Wagging isn't always a good thing though. Wagging isn't always a good thing though.
And I'm just like, where
Where did this come from?
Sitting here, like they'll be sitting playing together, and then it just escalates to where they're fighting instead of playing sometimes.
Sure.
I'm like, what triggered you to go from playing to fighting?
I bet you there's something else happening there.
With me and my friend's dogs,
It can be just that look, just like that, and it sets the other one off, and they're like, gah, you know, because they have to act fast, because if they don't, the other one's gonna start it.
Okay.
with me and my friend's dogs.
Overstimulation too.
Yeah.
With one, if they're playing and it escalates, sometimes I think overstimulation. And once it's triggered in the one animal, then it just, they feed off of each other. But I probably would have lost my one dog if I wouldn't have had a rock solid recall. Because Savannah, the coyote,
Bye. Thank you.
got, well, a couple months ago when I said I had behavior problems blowing up. I don't know what happened, but I looked up in the yard and Savannah was just hunched up and had, you know, her fur raised. And I started walking slowly and I saw her go for her and I yelled at Daisy to come to me, but if she wouldn't have, she probably would have killed her.
Yep.
And they've been together for 7 years.
Yep. I have 3 dogs. They'll still get into it, but I can see it escalate.
Yeah.
I can see it escalate, and I know usually before it happens. A lot of times, what I see, and I admit, I get so busy at the center. My biggest behavior issues are the parrots. Okay, those are the ones, because I'm trying to prevent mutilation, prevent feather destruction, prevent screaming. So the dogs tend to not get as much training. The more I do not train my dogs, the more they have these interactions. See you guys.
Thanks for the experience.
You are very welcome. So I'm turning this around. Hey everybody, Laura Joseph here, owner of the Animal Behavior Center. Welcome to your Coffee with the Critters in the afternoon. We just finished a 4-hour workshop here at Xavier University in Chicago. Co-lectured with Dr. Jason Crean. There you go. So some of the people left like a half an hour ago. We're just finishing up. Yes.
I have a dog that all of a sudden has become crazed over the telephone. Telephone rings, the dog goes absolutely nuts, starts barking, starts
Just like that.
jumping.
It changed
She
just
can
like
be
that.
sleeping, and she's off that couch and right on me.
But okay. I bet something happened that not slowly, but started triggering it or was paired with it. How long ago did this start?
Maybe 3 months.
How old's your dog?
She's 9.
And you've had her this long?
I've had her for 4 years.
First thing I would do is vet check.
I was gonna say,
Vet checks are good.
medical.
Okay, vet checks are good.
Yeah, she's been.
Because I was going to say, if something, just to make sure that it's not affecting something else in her body. If you got a clear
Right.
and you know there's medically nothing wrong, I would start with just what we started with before I started the live stream. Phone rings on 1. Bridge, reinforce. Unfortunately, it's been happening for 3 months. So now you have a history of reinforcement. You have some counter conditioning to do. What I'm also concerned with is now you stop delivering the reinforcer for an alternate behavior, she's likely to go back to this. So throw all the phones in the house away. Nobody can walk in with a phone. Leave a phone at your door.
I mean,
Is it a cell
would
phone or a home
stationing
phone?
work to get her to station at the time the phone rang?
You could, you could try that, but okay. If you want to go that route, when do you start training her to station?
Now.
You got it. Before the phone rings.
Before the phone rings.
Yeah. At the same time, because that phone's going to ring. What's likely to happen is the phone's going to ring, because you can't tell when the phone's going to ring. Well, you can if you call yourself, which you might be able to do. What I would tell her is, because what's going to happen is the phone's going to ring, she's going to, and then you're going to have to redirect. That isn't changing the behavior of her barking. I was like,
You can actually download.
who's got the teapot?
You can download the tones of your telephone. You can find it and download
Yeah.
it, and that way
Well,
you could.
I was just going to say, this is what's going to happen if you don't do something else, is you're likely, the behavior of her going to his station is only going to happen after the barking starts with the phone ringing. So I would start with the station, start with the phone ringing on your app. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Is it a cell phone or a landline? A landline. Okay. Try getting a different phone that sounds different. It might be that particular ring.
Good. That's why I was thinking something medical, like
Something
something.
like an audible.
Yeah, the doctor's not necessarily going to have tested for that pitch.
It's more that when I
I've
answer
noticed
it,
different pitches hurt his ears.
Okay. She has an older dog. When he's
when
losing
I-
his.
when I answer the phone.
Oh, it's not the phone ringing, it's when you answer
I mean,
it?
The phone rings all day long, and it doesn't necessarily, bother her. It's
Okay.
when I pick up the phone, hello, and then she's.
Okay, take all that and just raise it.
Yeah.
Well,
Never mind.
here's where being very specific
Yep.
matters, because it sounded as if it was the phone. Now you're telling us it's when you answer the phone, which that is probably
Taking
attention.
It's a
away
redirection
from
of
her.
your
It could be so many things.
Yeah.
It could
Or how
be
you answer it.
it could be how you answer it. It could be
Your tone of voice.
it could be you got up. It could be several things. It could be you went to get up and you tripped and fell on something and caught yourself, and boom, it was paired with it just that one time, and now it could be. I don't know. It just could be many things. She doesn't do it when you pick up anything else? Just the phone. Okay. I would still throw the phones away.
You're on your cell
Zazu
phone.
would love you. He'll often.
Yeah?
Yeah, you answer your phone, he'll attack you.
She doesn't do it
Oh.
with your cell phone though.
No, he thinks
No.
all phones should die.
So my question would be more of what's in that area. Can you pick up the flower vase that sits next to the phone?
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
It's just the phone.
The phone.
How about
Is
when
it-
making a call out?
What are you doing before you're picking up the phone?
I may be watching TV or reading.
With her next to you?
She'll be in the room. She won't be
Okay.
on that app or anything.
So I'm just thinking, like,
Yeah.
are you sitting there petting her?
No,
Okay.
Can't be that
What were you
easy.
gonna say?
but it's definitely.
Telling the phone to
Everybody
make
be
a call
quiet in the
out,
house.
does she still give you the same behavior, or is it only after it rings and then you pick it up?
Only when it rings and I pick it up.
Okay, so the ring has
So it's not
become
outgoing call,
a
it's incoming
signal.
call. So the ring is,
So it could be the ring,
the ring could be a cue.
but it rings other times and, you know,
Anybody else can pick up the phone but you.
there's no one else there, so.
Oh,
I mean, you get robocalls all day and, you know, I'll pick up the phone and I'll see it's a robocall, I'll put it down, she's fine with it. Pick it up and it's for me, hello, how are you? And she's like right on me.
okay. I would try to find out when it, like, I'm just thinking your pop's sitting there. I would go over, well, that's the sound of the phone that's cueing you.
Start talking to the pop. Hey, how you?
Yeah, like I'm thinking that just see, yeah, because if you pick up and start talking to your pop, and she starts barking, it's the behavior of, yeah, it's something to do with you in that area and talking in that area. I'm just trying to find all the specifics.
Could you answer it on a speakerphone? And see
Or
if
move the
that
phone to a different part of the house?
counteracted?
Different table?
No, because if I, take the phone, I've moved into the bedroom, I've moved into the bathroom, I've moved to the window, and, she's just, there again, she, I don't know if she's just looking for the attention, or if she's just.
Yeah, there's a lot of places. Somebody just made a comment. There's a lot of places where you need to eliminate variables. There's so many variables to find out. But Lou's on here. Sorry, she said, did she recently have an upsetting type of phone conversation that could have set this new behavior? That's interesting. Because I know when I'm mad, certain things fly out of my mouth, and only at those times. And I have accidentally trained my dog to run over to me, push her head between my legs, and push me into a corner. Yeah, because of that. That's an intermittent schedule of reinforcement. I get upset on the phone once in a while, not all the time, once in a while, especially when, say, a family member is sick, and that's when a lot of family problems start. All right? And then certain words come out of my mouth. And it may happen, let's say, my aunt is sick right now, and she's not doing very well, so these phone calls are happening very frequently. And I'm pairing that bam, bam, that high energy on the phone. Okay. My aunt's fine, she's home. My dad calls. Hey, Pop, what's up? How does a dog know the difference? That's interesting. What do you think about that?
Well, they pick up on your energy.
Yeah.
I mean, depending whatever energy, positive energy, negative energy.
It could be your body language too.
Body language. I'm thinking that maybe, she's being protective. There's something she doesn't like about that, perhaps, and, she doesn't.
But she's only doing it when you pick up the phone for an incoming call, not an outgoing call.
Right.
Or when it's a robocall.
Like she's potentially perceiving it as a stranger coming.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I don't know.
I would start with the app, the ring the phone on a 1, 2, just to see. Yeah, there's a lot. I would have to sit and watch you. And I would actually find that very, hey, just to let you know, camera's on, I'm watching you. Your phone's getting ready to ring. Yeah, somebody says tone of your voice. Could it be a difference in the tone of your voice? Hello
Who knows?
versus, hi, my name's so-and-so, I need to pay a bill. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, we've got about 7 minutes left. Does that help you?
Yeah.
Okay. She's going to start laughing next time she picks up her phone.
Maybe that'll work.
So I know our workshop has been eliminated to under half of what it was, but people had to go. Obviously, the information I'm still continuing to give is in valued enough reinforcer to keep you targeted to your chairs.
That's not true. You're excellent at what you do, but we have 4 dogs and 5 parrots, and we've been gone since 7:30. I'm feeling like they're crossing their legs.
Yeah, nope, I get it. Anybody want to say what was the most eye-opening of the day? Now that I put you on the spot.
I think it's the realization that it's not just about what we're communicating and how we're communicating it, but as much how it's being received on the other end. So we might think that we're communicating something very clearly, but the other side is just looking at us like we're speaking German, and to understand that there's that difference and to be able to read the other end and see their frustration as much as we see our own it's huge in being successful in anything.
And do you see how if you're working with an animal labeled as aggressive, all right, and there are not cage bars between you, where if you take too big of steps in training, that can frustrate that animal and right after you, because that can happen. That's why, you just saw the training here that didn't look like a lot. That's where I start. When is the animal moving towards me? Observable, measurable behavior. We had eye contact once, boom, twice, boom, 3 times, boom. What does this mean? Eye contact could be a threat, or it could be just scoping me out, which I think it was what he was doing, getting to know me. I stayed very predictable. And then the more I did, all those subtle signs, one hop to me, taking food from me, and then pretty soon I was moving my hand all around the dish. Anything else? Do you see how much you can do with targeting? You can get serious complex behaviors with targeting. You can control an animal by teaching them to target their butt cheeks to a corner. One butt cheek on that corner, one on that corner. And then teach them to stay there. If they are doing that, they are not charging the person coming in the front door. They're not charging the person opening up the cage. We are so, as a humanity as a whole, we're so good at telling everything and everybody what we don't want them to do. But yet we don't tell them what to do that's going to be of value. So by constantly telling somebody something, what not to do, you can reinforce them doing it more, because they just want to upset you now, because that's a reinforcer. It's always the individual that determines the reinforcer. It's always the individual that determines the punisher. So many times I see people try to positively punish a behavior with this person or animal because it worked with this one. Your values are totally different. You're probably going to get something totally different. It's like saying, and I give this analogy, I heard it in a podcast somewhere, you wouldn't train one Rottweiler or one cockatoo the same as the next Rottweiler. You're probably going to start with what's familiar with you. You're not going to train the same. Well, my last Rottweiler knew how to do it, so this one should know how to do it. It's like, this is what I heard in the podcast. I'm a 4th grade teacher. I have a kid named Sarah in my class. Because I had a Sarah in my class, next semester or next year, I get another Sarah. So I'm going to treat her just like the last Sarah. Totally different. You wouldn't train one cockatoo like the next. Totally different histories.
That's where the fallacy of people wanting to clone their animals comes in. Is that the animal will be exactly the same. Well, genetically, yes, but not behaviorally or personality-wise. They'll be completely different.
Yep. Okay. Anything else you guys wanted to add into Coffee with the Critters? It was a good day.
Awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, and I tried to incorporate as many different animals as possible so you could see. So hopefully you guys go home and think, how can this station and this target work? Those are 2 huge communication tools. And hopefully the thought of counter conditioning. don't let the undesired behavior start in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and end this because I'm going to see you guys. We'll see you next Sunday.